Harry Smith, NBC News, Brattleboro, Vermont.
And that's Nightly News. Join us for our special coverage of the DNC beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on NBC. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please continue to take care of yourself and each other.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Tokyo 21, presented locally by IT&E. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano Program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Ahead on prime time. During this afternoon's press conference, the governor announces that the island has recorded its 6th COVID-related death. Plus, with an increase of positive cases and the hospital filling up, the governor says they are looking for alternative care facilities in preparation for COVID's worst-case scenario. And over 1,000 test samples sit idle in a freezer as public health tries to catch up with the backlog.
Half a day and good evening, everyone. We are literally waiting on the latest report from the Joint Information Center. We understand that it will be a big number, possibly as much as 3 digits. We can't report it, we can't confirm it at this hour, but if, of course, we hear any information from the JIC before this newscast is over, we will certainly pass it on to you. We also understand that Joint Region Marianas installations have transitioned to a higher pandemic condition of readiness. We'll have that information for you also as it develops. Meanwhile, as you have heard, the island has recorded its 6th COVID-19 related death. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero says he was a 70-year-old man with multiple comorbidities. He was taken to the Guam Memorial Hospital early this morning, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The governor called for a moment of silence before making the announcement in a news conference today.
It has been 129 days since I made my last announcement. And I have to wonder, as governor, as a community, and as a government, have we done enough?
The governor says the man died of a sudden illness but was not a known COVID patient. Hospital Administrator Lillian Posada says he died of apparent cardiac arrest.
As the governor said, we weren't given a whole lot of information other than he is 70 years old and the family found him at home and brought him to the emergency room by ambulance. And so when he came into the emergency room, he was pretty much already breathless and unresponsive. And so, his body was tested by Abbott and it was positive.
The governor has also reached out to the man's family to offer condolences on behalf of the entire community. She said, "We grieve for him and all the lives lost in the battle against COVID." A little more information from Joint Region Marianas. They have transitioned to Health Protection Condition of Readiness C, effective immediately. However, there is no change at this particular point in time to base access. Meanwhile, the governor says they are preparing for the worst case scenario. She says her greatest concern is a sudden massive surge in hospitalizations, and officials have been looking into alternative care facilities to handle patient overflow should it reach that point.
I do know, and Lynn can talk more about this, that we have more people in ICU and that we have about 2 or 3 on the ventilators. And these are not the older people. These are your young people. They're in their 30s. So that's a very scary situation. I am afraid for our community, but we will, of course, step up as we have, and we will meet the challenge.
Hospital Administrator Lillian Posada says they've been seeing many more serious cases recently, but for now are able to handle the hospitalizations.
I am comfortable, but how this virus works is, within the next 2 days, we may be busting at the seams. So I do know that the hospital tent that the Navy had when the USS Theodore Roosevelt was here and was set up, that infrastructure is still on island.
This was confirmed by Admiral John Minoni in an interview this morning on the Link Multimedia Show.
Normally, at the end of a crisis, you would pack that thing up and put it back on the ship, and the ship would go back out to sea or wherever it goes, and just sit there in storage. In order to prevent the timeline, the timeliness that you would incur of having to unload that ship again, bring the ship into port, unload the ship, transport all those containers all over the place, unpack those containers and build it. We worked again with leadership to hold those things on island.
The governor says her medical advisor, Dr. Michael Cruz, has reached out to military officials about the use of the field hospital. Minoni says technically the request would have to be made through FEMA, which in turn would engage DOD.
These things can happen fairly quickly with phone calls, and then you back it up with emails and formal tasking letters. DOD would then say, okay, who's in the area? And it would normally come through Hawaii, and then Hawaii would task it to us. So they would say, DOD, have at it, and we would build that hospital down there, and they would fly in medical providers.
Posada said bringing in those military medical providers to man the facility would be critical. And Guma Tranquilidad residents are on lockdown, restricted to their units after a resident there tested positive for COVID-19.
Although the Joint Information Center did not disclose the information, Guam Housing Urban Renewal Authority Executive Director Ray Tapaznia on our interactive show The Link surely did. Evidently, there have been 2 positive cases at Gura's elderly housing facility, Guma Tranquilidad, over in Tumon.
I'm probably not supposed to say this, but most recently we had another positive, so that's the reason why we requested for a second round of testing.
The first positive case was back in April. That resident was transported to the government isolation facility and has since returned to Guma Tranquilidad. The second positive case was identified about a week and a half ago. According to Tapaznia, he's in his 50s and believes that he is at the Guam Memorial Hospital. As in the case of the first positive patient, testing is being conducted for residents. Tapaznia says he himself is getting tested and does hope all 49 residents avail themselves of public health testing that was available today.
What we've done is we've closed down the common areas to include the laundry facilities, the social hall, so that they're not able to congregate. I'm sure they're not happy about that, but we have to take precautionary measures. And then aside from those common facilities, they have their own independent quarters. So we believe the risks are low, but nonetheless, we want to get everyone tested so that we can sleep good at night.
The results from today's test are not yet known.
2 more Guam Department of Education employees have tested positive for COVID-19. The latest cases are from Simon Sanchez High School and John F. Kennedy High School. This is the second confirmed case at SSHS. Additionally, 4 more police officers have tested positive for the coronavirus. The 4 are assigned to GPD's specialized unit and have minimal contact with the greater community. This brings the total number of police officers who have been infected to 8. As for the latest results of the total number of confirmed cases, the information has not yet been released by the JIC. And at today's weekly meeting of the Leon Guerrero administration's offices that are dealing with homelessness, more plans were discussed to expand wraparound services and increase mitigation amid the pandemic.
It's been 2 days since 34 individuals from the global dorm shelter were tested for COVID-19, but they're still waiting for results. It's part of an island-wide backlog of specimens sitting at Public Health. Meanwhile, at this morning's weekly meeting with the Office of Homelessness Assistance and Poverty Prevention, stakeholders narrow in on critical services.
As of last night, we had 36 admissions. We just admitted a family of 6 yesterday. And so we now have 84 individuals at the dorm, 44 males, 44 females.
They announced a non-COVID related death of an elderly man over the weekend who was previously in the hospital. They also noted challenges with common areas amid PCOR 1 for new admissions. Expanded testing remains a priority.
We are looking into ways to do testing for the street homeless, either using Paseo or the Ganyapo or the Ministry Kitchen. So I know that's something in the works, in the discussion we have with public health to see what we can do. So we can get also those that were not part of the global dorm setting to see if they can get tested as well.
They're seeing increased need outside of the facility.
I know that I visited the Kamling Karadot kitchen, the homeless ministry kitchen yesterday, and it went up again, the amount of people coming in for meals. So it's an indication that people are hurting out there as well. So they're now servicing about 50 individuals every other day. So I know that there is still a need out there for the street homeless to kind of get that.
As the pandemic blends weeks into months, acquiring more permanent housing is in the works for those in need.
I mentioned last time that GURA was in the process of trying to house, find some more permanent housing for those at the shelter. We're working on 5. As I mentioned last time, 2 of them, we've already completed the unit searches, and I actually identified the unit itself. We're just awaiting final documentation certification from DISIT, and I'm glad that DISIT will be presenting today. I'm aware that DISIT will have those documents to us by Monday.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Tomas Manglona.
If you were tested over the weekend for COVID-19, you may have to wait a while to get your results. More than 1,000 specimens are sitting in a freezer as public health works to catch up with the backlog.
We have over 1,500 specimens, and that is including the specimens that we have received throughout this week.
Public Health Sinette Uggin says the recent peak demand for testing has swamped their lab.
Our staff is working diligently, longer hours every day to catch up on this backlog.
Uggin says it could be up to 7 days before those who were tested over the weekend will receive their results.
We are prioritizing specimens as we receive them, and so we do have a mix of specimens that come in for priority testing, like at the hospital, or a symptomatic individual or someone who needs pre-surgery clearance. And so our lab staff is balancing testing, the ones from the community testing, as well as those that were received and requested for stat testing. And so right now, we have a mix of those specimens from different providers that our staff is pulling from to test and prioritizing as needed throughout the week.
While people wait for their results, Uggin says the frozen specimens have a shelf life of up to several months.
So we just want to reassure the public that these the swabs that were received over the past few days are being stored properly, and that they are still viable when they are going to be tested.
For now, public health is shifting COVID-19 screening efforts to target testing, focusing on high-risk groups, contact tracing, symptomatic patients, travelers, and quarantine individuals. Additionally, they have postponed this weekend's community testing in Jotnya to allow lab staff to catch up. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas, Matanani.
From quarantine to the courthouse, a man who came back to Guam to attend his younger brother's funeral is taking public health to court so he can be released to attend the service on Saturday. Rob Barcina Shaw, an active duty airman who was stationed in New Mexico, had a negative COVID test as per public health guidelines, but Shaw was forced into quarantine after public health, a COVID positive passenger was found on his flight in from Hawaii. All 92 were placed in quarantine, and while some have been released, Shaw said he was told he was a high risk because he sat within 3 rows of the positive case. He was then told he could test out in a couple of days, but that was over a week ago.
It's now day 8 of me being in here, and they have denied us the testing for the 24 to 48 hours. I then contacted public health and I asked them, what about the 7-day option that is clearly laid out in their protocol that they have shown everybody, and they have denied me that as well. They are under the assumption that we are, they has labeled us as a high-risk personnel. However, they have denied us testing. They don't want to test us until day 12 to determine whether we are even COVID positive or not.
Shaw tells KUAM's The Link that public health presented him with options, none of which were allowing him to test out to be released and bury his brother.
They gave me two options for my family. It's either A, they push the funeral back, or B, they set up a Zoom call so that I can attend the funeral, because we're not leaving anywhere is what they told me.
Meanwhile, Attorney Tom Fisher has filed an emergency writ with the Superior Court demanding that public health show why their holding of Shaw is legal. If public health can't do that, Fisher is asking for Shaw to be released in time to attend his brother's funeral on Saturday. Secretary of Defense Dr. Mark Esper is scheduled to be on Guam next week. The governor confirmed today that her staff is working with military officials to set up a virtual or face-to-face meeting with Secretary Esper while he's here. She said she intends to thank him for the military's support and cooperation in combating the coronavirus. She also plans to discuss issues relating to the military buildup. According to the Associated Press, Secretary Esper is also traveling to Palau and Hawaii. Students of the Department of Defense Education Activity, your summer vacation is almost over. Admiral Minoni says school will start in 2 weeks. The Admiral says it wasn't an easy decision, but he requested that all classes be held online for now.
As the husband of a teacher, I know that in-classroom instruction is the best way to go for most. But with the rise in cases that we saw starting roughly around August 9th that we were watching very closely, the governor's declaration of PCOR 1, their decision to go to a remote learning environment, I think it's prudent that we request that.
The Admiral says he spoke today with the head of Dodea Pacific to confirm the online courses. He says face-to-face classes can start when health and safety conditions permit. We're going to take a short break and be back with more news right after this.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
While we've all been through a lot over the years, typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19, we've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years, Calvo's Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
and the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Whether it is tablets for children, special equipment for special children, or coral reef research, federal support is critical for our schools and our future. This week, we're trying to open schools. Parents are worried about their children's safety. Teachers are being asked to work minor miracles every day in teaching without looking directly into the eyes of our children. We must make sure that every child has a tablet, can get online, and get on with their education. We need a congressman who understands education and how the federal government can support every activity in the classroom, in the laboratory, and in the internet. Now more than ever, we need a congressman who will assist GDOE, UOG, and GCC without hesitation in solving problems with federal agencies. It's time that your child takes center stage, not only in school, but in Washington, D.C. I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back. The Federal Election Commission has put Congressman Michael Nicholas on notice. In a letter dated August 18th to the congressman's campaign treasurer, it states that it has come to their attention that they may have failed to file their pre-primary report for July and August. The campaign has been given 4 business days to file the report. The letter from the Federal Election Commission states failure to timely file this report may result in civil penalties, an audit, or other legal enforcement action. According to the FEC website, Democrat Robert Underwood and Republican Will Castro have filed their reports. In presidential news, Joe Biden's running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, took to the stage on night 3 of the Democratic National Convention underway. The theme is, quote, a more perfect union, with speakers touching on a range of issues, including gun violence, immigration, climate change, and the economy. Natalie Brand has more from Wilmington, Delaware.
Hey everybody, it's me, Kamala.
Tonight, California Senator Kamala Harris makes history as the first woman of color to accept the vice presidential nomination of a major party.
When we vote, things change. When we vote, things get better.
The other big headliner, former President Barack Obama. He will issue a call to action to get out the vote this November, while also drawing a contrast between President Trump and his former vice president, Joe Biden. Earlier, President Trump lashed out at former President Obama as well as Biden from the White House.
They did such a bad job that I stand before you as president.
This convention week also marks the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. Sharing the spotlight with Senator Harris are several prominent women of the Democratic Party. Among them, the 2016 Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton.
Remember back in 2016 when Trump asked, "What do you have to lose?" Well, now we know our health care, our jobs, our loved ones, our leadership in the world, and even our post office.
Also, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Joe Biden is the president we need right now. Battle-tested, forward-looking, honest and authentic.
Shot in the head from less than 3 feet away.
And former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, a staunch advocate against gun violence.
We are at a crossroads. We can let the shooting continue, or we can act.
Other major topics on the agenda of night 3, climate change.
The United States will once again lead on this critical issue.
We need a president who will bring people together, not tear them apart.
And immigration. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Back here at home, months later, and the battle continues for double pay for GovGuam employees who are first responders in the fight against COVID-19. Last Friday, Judge Elise Ariarty issued a decision and order that sides with Attorney Tom Fisher in his petition against the Attorney General. However, according to Fisher, the OAG has yet to comply. Adriana Cotero reports.
I am sitting around and waiting for them to produce the documents which the Superior Court has ordered them to produce.
Describing it as pulling teeth, Attorney Tom Fisher says he has filed a total of 4 Freedom of Information Act requests within the past 12 months to the Office of the Attorney General, each of which have been opposed. And the most recent FOIA by Fisher requests for documents that centralize on GovGuam employees' pay during the pandemic. This is one matter Fisher has had to take to the Superior Court of Guam.
Judge Ariarty published a decision last Friday, and what we were looking for is communication inside the Attorney General's office having to do with pay, and also communication between the Attorney General's office and the Office of the Governor having to do with pay. And, the AG weighed in and said, no, we're not going to give you anything. And the judge said, no, you are going to give him something.
According to the decision and order documents, before the court can determine if Attorney General Levin Camacho's claim privileges apply to Attorney Fisher's FOIA request, the OAG must submit an index and affidavit by August 24th. Further court documents state, quote, intra-agency communications regarding internal employee payments must be disclosed. The AG must ensure that it has fully complied with its obligation to retrieve public documents contained on any of its personnel's personal devices, unquote. Prior Deputy Attorney General James Canto made arguments that the OAG personal communications are not subject to disclosure, this including WhatsApp chats. In response to the court order, the OAG states, quote, we appreciate the diligence of the court while working through this lawsuit, and we will file the requested documents, unquote. Meanwhile, Fisher says he is waiting for the documents. and adds that with this recent court order, it is now clear that any social media communications in line with government business are considered public documents.
It's certainly not complicated. I certainly don't think any citizen needs to go running into court just to get the government to do what the government is supposed to do.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Budget talks continued today at the legislature with the government's largest department, GDOE, in focus. Senators are going through a section-by-section review. Earlier, they voted down a motion by Speaker Tina Barnes to go back to the first chapter of the budget bill to adopt a revenue projection. That bid was voted down. They also clarified an amendment yesterday by Senator Regine Bisco-Lee. Republicans had protested that her motion to require 6 sponsors for any amendments was meant to shut them out. Appropriations Committee Vice Chair Senator Clint Rigel made it clear that all senators, including those who are not members of the committee, were free to make amendments. The legislature has until the end of the month to pass a budget bill. And GWE says it will save about $12 million on future debt service payments after successfully restructuring previously issued bonds. In a news release, the agency said through the refinancing, the, quote, true interest cost on the debt was reduced from 5.56% to 3.36%, resulting in annual savings of some $1.9 million a year through 2027. The bonds were issued in 2013 to build new water system reservoirs and the state-of-the-art Agate Santa Rita wastewater treatment plant. Coming up, we'll tell you about the 24-hour crisis hotline. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
When your potential is limitless, your experiences are endless. Introducing the new GTA Multi-Line Limitless plan. Explore island life with no limitations and never stress about running out of data or minutes. Enjoy unlimited local talk, text, and data, high-quality music and video streaming, and connections to loved ones on island and in the US and CNMI. Plus, $5 savings for each additional line sign-up. Experience your data plan your way. GTA, we start with you.
Small businesses are an important foundation in our island's growing economy. They provide essential goods and services to our community, while preserving local traditions and creating new job opportunities. Your responses to the 2020 Census of Guam will help small businesses receive the information they need to thrive for years to come. Respond today. Together, we can make a difference.
That's when Lil' Mama came to stealing looks. Whoa, she off the rate scale, she had me shook. Yeah, but if you single tonight and can't find your friends, then I hope you don't mind me asking. Do you wanna dance to the music? Do you wanna rock to the beat of the drum? And we could cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Baby, we should cut her up.
King's welcomes you back with our King's Time value menus, full of great deals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We hope to see your family soon at King's.
For the Love of Burgers is back with 6 of our most popular burgers, each for just $9.99 for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
Take the party home with our new Get It To Go menu. Combo specials and kids meals, pizza, wings, and more. Now available for carryout at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
Welcome back. On Tuesday, Sylvia Kinata and Helen Onidera from the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center spoke with Bree and Chris about the crisis hotline and how there's been a large number of callers during this COVID pandemic.
Are still there. We're tackling it one day at a time. as best we could. But the numbers just keep getting up there, and we're dealing with it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm. When you say numbers, I guess in the past 5 months, what kind of numbers are we talking?
So before the start of COVID, actually before COVID, I think we were averaging like 25 to 30 calls a month. We've definitely, I know we recently ran the data, and we're getting up to 500 calls a month now. So that was the last 2 months. Before then, I know that at the height of COVID, the first wave, or before all of this, we were getting about 500 to 700. So we're slowly seeing it increase again. And we do see that every time there's a new executive order or there's a new mandate in place, we see the surge here on our end as the number increases. Yes.
Helen, what do people say? What are they saying when they call the hotline? What are some of the things? Again, not specifics, but just maybe generalities.
Mm-hmm. Well, generally, we are seeing a lot of people who are feeling anxious due to unemployment, being laid off, wondering where the resources are, wondering before all of this, when are they going to get their checks? We're linked to the 311, so which is the 8 to operates Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and we're option 6 or 7. It changes. I think we went from 6 to 7 because KUA started, but we would get callers too who are just pressing numbers until they can speak to someone. But when we do get someone who is seeking hotline services, it is, yes, anxious or depressed, loneliness, because there are people with health problems and they just can't go out in the community. So it's up to us to figure out, to kind of help them, figure out some coping skills that they can do. What have they done before, and what does the new normal look like for them during this time?
Again, the 24-hour crisis hotline numbers are 647-8833 or 8834. For the full interview, you can head over to youtube.com/KUAM News. Coming up, our Coldstone Creamery Birthday Club shout-outs. This is KUAM.
When I need to pay my Docomo Pacific bills or manage my account, all I do is visit mydocomopacific.com. It's easy to set up. I just visit the website and click on the link to set up my account. I filled out the registration page starting with my account number. I received a text message with a temporary username and password. After making initial changes on my security settings, I'm in! Now I can make payments or manage my Docomo Pacific account without needing to leave home. With Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Our biggest SUV, the Palisade, and our smallest SUV, the Venue. Remember, it's not the size of the dog in your adventure, but the size of the adventure in your dog. Big or small, it's better in a Hyundai SUV.
This is a bag, but for Steve, this bag gives him food cred. Because now everyone knows that when they have that craving, or they're just looking for the perfect deal, well, they just need to follow Steve.
Follow him all the way to the new McTerry Deluxe at McDonald's. It's an all-beef patty smothered with teriyaki sauce topped with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. For a limited time, price and participation may vary.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Coldstone Creamery Birthday Club.
It's August 20th, so happy birthday to Micah Manglonia, who turns 6 today. Happy birthday, Micah Joe. May you always be blessed as you grow. Nice poetry. We love you very much. Say Grandma, Papa, and the family. Have a great birthday. Evelyn Uka, happy birthday to you and have a wonderful and blessed day. Prayers for another healthy and safe year from your GWSH family. Man, we get so much love these days from GWSH. From GWSH, there we go. Great job, guys. Rosabelle Nailing Hortilosa, happy birthday number 4. Happy birthday to you and Papa Roki. We hope you have a wonderful day. Love, hugs, and kisses from your whole family. Happy birthday also to Papa Roki Shonko. We love you so much and are blessed to have you in our lives. We hope your birthday is filled with lots of love, laughter, and happiness. Love, hugs, and kisses from your whole family. Happy birthday to Mom, otherwise known to the rest of us as Carol Crisostomo. And this birthday shout out comes from Tosh and Rico. And here's a really, really cool birthday shout out. Although you guys can't see this, Roki Mendiola gets birthday love, and it says happy birthday, as simple as that. But in between the two words, there's the emoji of the coconut tree. And you know what, folks? You can't get better than that. Great job, everyone, on your birthday shout outs. You've made someone's day. So please do the right thing. Mask up, glove up, stay 6 feet apart, and wish someone a happy birthday today.
As always, you too can be a part of the Coldstone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. That's our report for tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe out there.
In the Mix is presented by Pika's Cafe Guam, located in the Star Building in Upper Tumon. Eat local, buy local, support local. Now open for dinner.
Hafiday, I'm Tyler Matsunani, and welcome back to In the Mix. It's no doubt the world has been rocked by the coronavirus, and with Guam back in P-Core 1, a lot of people's plans have been put on hold. But one content creator is continuing to grow amidst the lockdown, not only in Guam's dance community, but also the TikTok world. Now, if you've heard of Brian Esperon, you've definitely heard of the WAP Challenge.
It's the latest dance challenge blowing up on social media. TikTokers all around the world are taking part in the WAP Dance Challenge, based off of Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's song WAP, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard. Now, you're probably wondering what makes this dance challenge so special. Well, other than the fact that Miss Cardi B herself attempted to do it.
Okay, now from the top, make it drop.
It's also been done by over 100,000 people and counting, and was created by Guam's very own Brian Esperon. Esperon has an extensive background in dance. He graduated magna cum laude with a dance degree from Loyola Marymount University. He's a longtime member and artistic director of Guam's infamous dance company, Skip Entertainment. In addition, Brian's worked with artists such as Steve Aoki, Kalani, Pia Mia, and Lil Jon, as well as different choreographers from all over the world. But he's received even more viral recognition for things such as his J-Lo TikTok challenge, choreography from Nicki Minaj's Black Barbies, and of course, Cardi B's Bartier Cardi and WAP, just to name a few.
You have different variations of it for people that can't do the splits, for people that need it a bit easier. How long does it usually take you? Because I've seen your choreographies on TikTok, and I've seen you like reenact some, but this is the first one where you really just created your own for this new song, and people went crazy for it. How long did it take?
Well, the song came out, I want to say like at 2 p.m. on Guam, like on Friday, and I kind of like just texted like a small group of my friends. I'm like, you guys, we need to film a video. Like this song came out, and so I think we like met at the studio at like 6 p.m. and like I just made the choreography on the spot, and like the section that I made that went viral on TikTok, I made that, I want to say in like 5 minutes. Like I was just kind of fooling around, and yeah, like we just filmed it like right then and there. Like I just told everyone like bring bandanas, bring color, bring denim. And I edited that night, and I uploaded it like 4 a.m. Guam time.
With the original video garnering over 7 million views and the tutorial over 17 million, Esperon was bound to get the attention of the singer herself.
Cardi posted it on her Instagram story first.
Saw that.
Like a different section, and then somebody uploaded it on Twitter, like the section with the kick and the splits, and then she retweeted that saying she wanted to try it. And she's like, is that the one where she said, yeah, she's like, I'm gonna learn this one too. She's like, my back finna break or something.
Cardi's not the only one to catch one of Esperon's challenge.
The ones I like really freaked out, I think it like really like took it to the next level, was when Nia from Dance Moms did it, and like it's kind of weird, but like on TikTok there's all these different communities and like niches, and like the dance mom community is like huge there. The one I got impressed of is like a lot of dancers that I've been following. One of them is, if you know, just Michael Lee, but his whole family did it. Like he did it, his mom did it, his brother did it.
Forewarning if you attempt to do the WAP challenge. Unlike most TikTok dances, the WAP actually requires flexibility and skill. One TikToker dislocated her knee while trying to do the splits, while Brian himself sprained his toe.
There was one take I did, and I like busted my toe on the ground, and then there's a bunch of other people who have like attempted the challenge and they've like hurt them. So like a lot of people are sending me like bruises on their knees, and then Cardi even posted on her Instagram feed the video of the girl who dislocated her knee.
I saw that. Oh my god.
But like it's crazy because like that video blew up for her. Like I know like the last time I checked she had over 2 million views on just that video. And like since Cardi reposted it, I want to say it has over 2 million likes on hers. Like I know it's a very different TikTok dance than like the Renegade and Say So, like and Savage. So I feel like that's why it kind of like stands out a little.
To follow everything Brian Esperon, you can follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe to his YouTube channel, all at Besperon. To watch the full-length interview with Brian, check out our YouTube channel at KUAM News.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break.
Hafaday, I'm Mana Silva Tyron. Robert Underwood is one of the most respected men in Guam as a leader of our community. Respected for his knowledge and his willingness to help. To those who know him well, they'll describe him as energetic, funny, and trustworthy. Speaking as a Republican and former senator, I can tell you he's one of the most trusted men in Guam. In Washington, D.C., he will always fight for Guam. And in Guam, he will always work with all of us. That's why I'm ready for Underwood for Congress. Please join me in voting for Robert Underwood.
I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
When your potential is limitless, your experiences are endless. Introducing the new GTA Multi-Line Limitless plan. Explore island life with no limitations and never stress about running out of data or minutes. Enjoy unlimited local talk, text, and data, high-quality music and video streaming, and connections to loved ones on island and in the US and CNMI. Plus, $5 savings for each additional line sign-up. Experience your data plan your way. GTA, we start with you.
In the Mix is presented by Pika's Cafe Guam, located in the Star Building in Upper Tumon. Eat local, buy local, support local. Now open for dinner.
Good evening and welcome back to our show. I'm Tyler Matinani. Now, although we may be on lockdown mode, Guam's talent definitely is not. Tanya J recently released her debut single, Leave the House, which ironically is not exactly what we're going to be doing in the next 2 weeks.
We have three very talented individuals. I am Ray John, Emma May, and Tanya J. See, I knew you guys were gonna mess me up there, so we're along the line. Thank you so much for joining me. So, Tanya, you guys all just recently released, your solo debut in Leave the House. So tell us about your writing process. How long, when did you get started for that?
For that, I was actually like falling asleep when I was on Guam, and then I just thought of that first line, the "we don't have to leave," and then automatically I got up and then I just started writing it, and that was like the fastest song I've written. It took like 30 minutes. Then I recorded it on my iPad, and then when I met Ray again, I sent that over to him, and he like really liked it. So he made me meet with like a bunch of producers, and then we created what's now.
Wow. And you and Ray actually have, you guys have collaborated before on one of his songs. So
yeah.
What is your whole backstory? I mean, what inspired you for Leave the House?
Well, honestly, that's the first song that I didn't have like a love muse. And I used like my friends as inspiration, because there was like a time where we were supposed to go to like a party, and then none of us wanted to like get up, like we were just lazy. We decided to just stay in and then just like hang out, and it was really fun. So I took my inspiration from them.
That's great. And so Ray-John, let's talk the production. When did you guys get the ball rolling? How long did the whole process take, and what were some of the obstacles that you guys may have encountered bringing this together? You know, we were, of course, we're in the middle of this whole fiasco going on. What were some challenges for you?
Well, for one was getting Tanya to want to run with it, because she was trying to figure it out if she even wanted to kind of like go with the music side, like she was focusing on her film side. And but I just saw limitless potential in the song, potential in her as a music artist, and I really just kept poking. I was like the guy with the stick, and just like go. And the obstacles were finding producers at the time. Was I was currently working on my album, which was taking so much of time, and but I was trying to develop like relationships while I was developing my album, so that way I can have a producer in line to do hers. And when she came back to Guam to do the music video for Just You, the song that we did before, we kind of just like got her in the studio to recreate the beat that she already put down a solid template for. We just needed drums, kicks, and for it to just to structure the whole thing. And we got her to do her vocals here, majority of them. And then when she left, she ended up not liking them, and again had to poke it again because she didn't like them, and so she needed to re-record a lot of stuff. The biggest obstacle was getting Tanya to like it. It's crazy because it's her song, right? But eventually she got we got it to a point where she fell in love with it, and now she got like a big team to do the video. Hit up one of Guam's like dopest women, Emma, to star in it, right? And so now it's looking like a really big thing, and it's amazing. So all the obstacles in the front, just let it to where it's at now, and but that's all her.
No matter what size adventure you're into, it's better in a Hyundai. And introducing the Venue, the newest member of the Hyundai SUV family.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist. Over 20 years of experience.
My child, Econo, listen. The winds are singing. The ocean is roaring. And the trees are dancing. Our island is moving once again. In Afamolic, our unity has carried us through the stillness of today. And now, the spirit of Hafaday is yearning for our friends to come home.
Nana, is it time to bring all our friends back now?
Hungen, yes. It's time for the world to give us a moment together.
In the Mix is presented by Pika's Cafe Guam, located in the Star Building in Upper Tumon. Eat local, buy local, support local. Now open for dinner.
And I know I've been seeing a lot of hype around it. You guys have the music video actually releasing on August 21st. Now, I have not been able to see it, so can you guys tell us what everyone can expect? What's the message? Yeah, please tell us.
Only one of us, I think, have seen it. I know I haven't seen it yet. I want to save that. I want to save that for the premiere, but I think Tanya's the only one that's seen it. So,
Emma, you wanna answer that?
Honestly, what you have to expect is just kind of like a love story between, two girls. And I have to say that that's probably the thing that kind of caught my attention the most when she asked me to be a part of it. There's not many stories out there that have to do with LGBTQ community, and just being a part of something like that, I feel like is really inspirational, and it kind of opens the eyes to a lot of different artists also. So that's something that's really exciting, at least on our part. That's like one of the things we constantly kept talking about, how that's something that a lot of people are going to be really excited about.
And in fact, that is something that did catch my eye when I saw the little teaser, especially in the caption, the whole love is love is love. So I'm really excited to see what you guys did with this. Emma, how was it getting to be a part of the music video? Is this your first time kind of dabbling in like any kind of acting stuff?
Yeah, actually it is. This is the first time I ever acted, and I don't think I realized how much acting I had to do until I was on set and started going through takes, and I was like, wow, okay, this is serious, I got you. And I think one of the things that made me really, really excited about this also was just because it was somebody that was from Guam, and we got to support local, and being able to be a part of something like that is really cool. It was so much fun. She had an amazing team with her, and we got to see like clips of the video, and I just have to say it's going to be so cool, and I'm just really excited.
So can we expect you to make future appearances? Practicing your shots a little bit more? Maybe. All right, I'm excited for that. Tanya, what is in the works for you? What is your next project?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm super focused on Leave the House right now. I really love this song. This song is my baby, and this music video became my baby. And so, but Ray has me working, or he wants me to start working on like other stuff that they have planned for me. So that's pretty cool.
It's so funny that the song is called Leave the House when, well, now we're in PCOR 1 and we really can't leave the house.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. Where can people follow you? Shout out your social medias.
can follow me on Irma101 on Instagram.
You can follow me at Tanya J.
And you can follow me on official I Am Ray John on IG. I Am Ray John on Spotify. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Can I just say, I have like the best team ever. Like Ray, this project wouldn't have come to fruition. Now stop. Let me hype up my team really quick. And Emma is like the perfect person I keep telling her this, but she was the perfect person for this video. Just like a great representation of our island and the LGBT community. So without my team, I couldn't have done it. So.
Oh my goodness. Was there anything else that you guys would like to add? For the audience where they can listen to the music and any other messages you want to convey?
There's people listening to music all over the world, which I think is really, really cool. And it's a really big step for Guam. You know, being able to have somebody from Guam have their name out in Europe and in other places in Asia and all across the United States. So I really think that this is such a big deal, and people really need to like recognize the fact that she's worked so hard to get where she is, and she's put together a really, really good, strong team. And everyone on Guam should be really, really proud of her.
See?
And
I second that. Yep. That's
gee.
One more question. One more question. What is the farthest reach that has just blown your mind? Like, I know there was someone that posted that they were listening to it in Germany.
Yeah, that was Emma's fan.
No, your fan. It's your fan now, girl.
Yeah. Well, the biggest reach I think is actually Russia. Russia's like up there in the thousands. Yeah, like right next to the US. They're like neck and neck. So that's pretty cool.
That's amazing. So we're definitely we're gonna be waiting to see what is next for you, what new songs you release, and we're gonna be following your journey. So we're definitely excited for everything that you have laid out ahead.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Stay tuned. We have more in the mix when we come back.
With Grand Marnier, you'll dare to put a twist on the traditional. That will lead you to somewhere unexpected. Somewhere you can create something better than good. Here, you'll create something grand. Grand Marnier, a visionary blend of fine cognac and bitter orange liqueur. Live grand.
In the Mix is presented by Pika's Cafe Guam, located in the Star Building in Upper Tumon. Eat local, buy local, support local. Now open for dinner.
Welcome back to In the Mix. I'm Tyler Matsinani. Time now to throw it over to our friends at the Guam Visitors Bureau for Tourism Works.
Tourism Works, brought to you by the Guam Visitors Bureau.
Everyone would like to start off by wishing everyone a very warm Hafade!
Hafade, Guahusi Jonathan Perez. I am the Fafanagwe of Guma Ininani Sainata. We are a Chamorro cultural dance group. I'm also a teacher at Estimul Middle School, and I teach Chamorro dance at that location. We are a community-based dance group that we inspire our youth to learn our culture, our language. We're a safe space where students are inspired to explore their Chamorro identity and promote our culture. The unique thing about our dance group or our GUMAT, there are many GUMATs here on the island, and one thing we do is we give an opportunity for our students who are still in school to go out and see the importance of our culture, and they get to see tourists who are interested about learning about who we are. So prior to COVID-19, we were really busy with a lot of hotels inquiring us to perform. We did different bendiciones, different things for GVB and for tourism and for a lot of the hotels. Since the pandemic, we haven't been having that many calls to do any presentations and things like that for tourism. The decline in tourists coming to Guam has affected our organization and our island as a whole. I feel that right now Guam we're trying to, if you notice, a lot of businesses are revamping, they're renovating, we're trying to recreate a different normal, and as far as our GUMAT, we're kind of just, we're seeing how we can adjust as well. Some of the hard decisions I've had to make is choosing what students to come to the performances, things like that. In the past, the more students that are able to experience and share, the better. And now having to limit because of the amount of people that are allowed in a certain space, I think it's one of the things that's hindering us, because as a teacher and as a Fafanagui, we want to teach our culture and identity to as many students as possible. I think the best thing to do during this pandemic is stay positive and plan for the future, and take this time to reevaluate your lives and look towards what you can do post-pandemic. One thing also to do is just keep in contact with each other. You know, a lot of people are being isolated, they feel alone, and our community has been based on Inafa Maulik of connecting with one another, and with technology we can still do that. And when we come out of this pandemic, we don't want that aspect of our culture to change. Hafide, Guahusi Jonathan Perez, and tourism works for me.
Tourism Works, brought to you by the Guam Visitors Bureau.
And that's the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. If you are a Guam talent or a business on the rise and would like to be featured on In the Mix, you can email me at tyler@kuam.com. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll see you next week. Adios!